Hello volunteer judges. This is going to be a short video for all of you new judges or seasoned judges that are looking for a refresher on how to fill out a speech or drama ballot. So the first thing to know is that when you arrive at the school for your scheduled judging time, you'll want to go to the main office and check in. We will be handing out these ballot packets for the assignment that you received, and you will get a packet for every round that you will judge, and we'll usually hand them out one at a time. So you'll get your packet for round one or whatever your first round to judge is. So we wanted to go through that a little bit with you guys to make sure we're all on the same page for this tournament. The first thing you're going to see on top is a summation ballot, and this is usually a colored ballot. We normally have this part of the ballot, this top part of the ballot filled out. We'll have usually the event number. You as the judge, if you'd like, you can fill in the round number if you know which round you're judging and your name there. But this is not super important. We will fill that out when you return it as well. What you need to fill out and what's important is down here at this part, and it's really important that this is filled out accurately. So the students will identify themselves with a code number, and they will speak in a certain order, so it's important that you record the speaking order that they used and their code. So let's say, for example, in this event, let's say that it's memorize public address. So I'm going to say MPA. Really hard to write with my hand, but I'm trying my best. And you can sign your name. So when you get to the round, the students usually know their speaking order, or they will always or should identify themselves with their code number before they speak. You can record that. So let's say that code number C1 is first speaker. They perform. At the end of their speech, they will show you their timer or their cell phone where they've recorded their time, and it's important that you write that time down here. So let's say they spoke for 9 minutes and 2 seconds. So 9:02. Okay? You can wait until everyone else has spoken to fill out this part. This is how you rank them in the round. So obviously, the best person in the round gets the first place, and the worst person in the round gets the 8th place. Unless there are fewer than 8 competitors, then they get the lowest score in the round. Also, you need to award each speaker points, and that is a range between 20 and 30 points, 30 being the best. You can give speakers a tie on speaker points, but you cannot tie on rank. So for example, if I had 2 speakers, let's say I had C1 and D2, let's say he spoke for 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's say C1 got first place and D2 got second place. I'm going to circle those very clearly, and then I'm going to award them speaker points. Let's say that they were really, really good. They were both really, really excellent. It was just a matter of liking this one's poise or presentation a little bit more. But I want to make sure that they're both awarded the highest points. You can certainly award them both 30 speaker points. Okay? So this summation ballot needs to be filled out ASAP after a round ends, and I'll show you a few tricks to getting it filled out quickly so you can return that to the judges table as soon as possible. All right, let's get rid of that writing there. In each packet underneath the summation ballot, you will receive 8 of these blank comment sheets, and these are to fill out for each one of the presentations or competitors. So this is something that you can write on as the presentation is going. I generally don't like to write a lot. I like to look at what the kids are doing, but I might jot down a few notes here, what the competitor did well, or I might write down the name of the piece or an article of clothing to help remind me who it was. I might jot down a few things that I felt the competitor needed improvement on. And then after the round is finished and I've turned in that summation ballot to the office, I can take some time to fill out the rest of this. I can circle the rank that I gave that competitor. Obviously up here I'm going to write their speaker code and their time. I'm going to sign my name again. And then I can take some time and fill out this rubric, how I felt for each aspect of this rubric how they did. Also on this ballot sheet, which I think is extremely helpful, is a short little blurb about this event and what you're looking for as a judge. It has a few little rules and things that you should be looking for. And then down at the bottom also is the speaker points. You can circle how many speaker points you gave them. So if this was for speaker code C1, which is the competitor on my ballot sheet that I gave first place to, I'm going to write that they spoke for 9 minutes and 2 seconds. Ooh, it's really hard to write it small on this. I'm going to sign my name. Okay. All right. So I gave them first place in the round. I might jot a few little things that they did well, a few things that I felt they needed to improve on. I thought they were outstanding. I can circle all this, or if I wanted to, I could do a mix. I could do outstanding, excellent, outstanding, good. So you can kind of choose how you want to fill out that rubric. And then I'm going to circle 30 because that's how many speaker points I awarded them. Then when the next competitor comes on, I'm going to flip the page and I'll have a blank page that I can keep track of the second competitors, what they did well or what they need to improve on. Okay, so another trick to kind of filling out a ballot is what I call the judges grid, and this is a really great tool. So in a round, after a speaker performs, so if a speaker performs first, they are obviously in first place. No one is better than them. So if code A3 spoke first, they're in first place. Okay. After the second speaker speaks, all I have to decide is who is better, A3 or the new. So let's say C1 spoke first. C1 was really, really good, so I'm going to put them in first place. A3 is now in second place, and so on and so forth. So let's say third speaker speaks. They were pretty good too, but not as good as C1, so C1 stays at the top of my rubric. D2 is right here, and A3 gets bumped down another one because they weren't as good as D2, excuse me. By the end, if you had 8 speakers in your round, you'd have first through 8th place, and if there's only 6, then you would only have to worry about the 6 places. So you could actually go back to your, let me find it again, summation ballot, and you could circle that information and write in the speaker points. Like I said, this is the most important piece of paper. This is what really needs to be filled in correctly. If it's not filled in correctly, we have to come and find you. So it's important that you take your time and make sure that that is correct. And then on the comment sheets, you can keep those for a little bit if you have some downtime between rounds and fill out all the rest of that information. Our competitors really do love to hear your feedback. Obviously, constructive feedback is what we're looking for. We don't need put downs or anything like that. Not that anyone would do that, but I do like to remind judges that these kids do read these and they're human. So I always try to do, some really things that I thought they did well and a few things that they need to improve on. It's really hard at this point in the season to get a comment sheet that doesn't have any comments because there's nowhere for us to talk to the kids and coach the kids where they need to build on. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask the people at the judges table, any coaches that you see. They will absolutely help you get this ballot turned in right. Thank you so much for judging. We look forward to seeing you, and we just know you're going to have a great experience.